Hello, people, and welcome back to Football Pundit. It has been an Oktoberfest for Arsenal. That is what I'm going to start off with. An immense month for Arsenal with brilliant performances, brilliant results, and we are cruising through things right now. The first one that I have to say is the Premier League. We are on the top of the Premier League. And just while the season started and when Liverpool were trying to go through it and they were having some very good performances with us getting defeated at Anfield and then a draw at the Emirates with Manchester City. Even I was a bit skeptical about maybe the team is not clicking and Liverpool would really, with all those world-class signings that they had, they will just cruise through it. But in just a matter of month, in a matter of maybe just 1 month, the whole thing has flipped. And with that, Arsenal now are on the top of the Premier League. Arsenal are cruising through the Champions League group stages, and now they have cruised through the Carabao Cup as well, with defeating Brighton 2-0 at the Emirates. So, without further ado, let's get right into it. So, just to start it off, like I think this was a very important victory for Arsenal because again, I really don't care about the performances when it comes to cup games because like you can play very well and if you get beaten, I mean that's it. You get knocked off and there is no way back for you. There is no second leg. There is no where you can no league kind of thing where you can really have the chance of coming back. So irrespective of the performances, I really don't care about that in the cup games. I specifically want if you want to go for it, just go for it, win the game, and just keep going to the later stages of the game. And I think, unlike the previous seasons, Arsenal did that this season. With I think one thing that I have not liked about Mikel Arteta, and one thing that is still questionable for him, and maybe the reason why a lot of pressure has been built on him, apart from maybe other reasons as well, of him not lifting silverwares. Now, if you have to see, for example, for him to remain in this job, the most important thing was him winning the FA Cup in his first half season, if I have to say. Aubameyang delivered that FA Cup to him, and that was the moment where things kicked in for him, where he just came, he won an FA Cup, and then he got the support of the fans, support of the club, and support of the owners. And you have seen how the spending has gone from then onwards. And but that was the crucial point and the crucial trophy that Arsenal won. Even though he comes on and says, "I want Florida Cup, Community Shield," but like, they don't hold any value, if I have to say. But FA Cup does hold a value. And even though Arsenal were playing well and performing in the Premier League. Well, they finished second for 3 seasons. Now you can question that they didn't win anything, they didn't win the Premier League and things like that, but they did perform. So if you have to at least perform a certain number of games to at least finish second, and if you perform the best, you win the league. That's the straightforward thing that will happen. But Arsenal, they did perform, maybe not the best. That's why they got second. But one thing that I really didn't appreciate Arteta's was he like dismissing the Carabao Cups, the FA Cups, trying to play a squad that is not ready, trying to play a squad that is a bit weaker on these games and just get knocked off during the early stages of the game. And that was one thing that I didn't appreciate about Arteta. And if he would have at least picked one Carabao and maybe one more FA Cup, things would have been completely different for him now. Where right now we are in fifth and sixth season of him and us not lifting anything, and that has created more pressure than what actually it should be. So, but I think let's keep our fingers crossed that this is the season that all of those things go away and we start lifting the silverware that we have been desperately waiting for. Now, regarding this game, I think when I saw the lineup, I was a bit skeptical on how the team was going to perform if it was really ready to take on Brighton. Brighton is a good team. It's not, they are no mugs that you can just go and roll them over, even with the weaker side. And the team lineup, I think for me, I would have personally kept a couple of more players in to have a strong footing on the game. But again, because we started down was a kid. Nwaneri, even though he had been playing for the last season, he's still a kid. Merino and Eze. These were the only two players like who were experienced and who had the composure of keeping the ball, making things tick. Norgard, he has just joined Arsenal this season. He has been having injuries. He has just come back, and he looked rusty as well. Then, if we go to the defense, we had Ben White again coming back from injury. But the most amazing thing that I saw yesterday was Mosquera and Hincapie, these two center back pairing. And I think I have been wanting to see these two play together. And I think yesterday, I think I got my wish fulfilled. And I think they both were immense. I think absolute standout performance for both of them. Then on the other side, we had on the left back side Lewis Kelly, who also didn't look that good in the first half, but gradually as the game progressed, he started getting better. And Kepa, I think he did a fantastic job. Even though he had 0 minutes before this, he was absolutely immense yesterday. And to a point where we've got him at 2 or 3 million, and as a backup keeper, if he keeps performing at this level that he's performing right now, it will be a masterstroke for Arsenal. It will be something that Arsenal fans and the players, they will really look back and see that this was an amazing business as well. But even though so with the whole lineup, I was a bit skeptical, and I think that part really came into the flow where we started seeing in the first half that Brighton were the one, even though we were dominating the ball, the position was almost 50-50, but it was Brighton who were playing on the counter and had the better chances. Unfortunately, they were not able to finish it for them. And if they could have taken even one of those chances, the game balance would have tipped and things would have become a bit difficult for Arsenal. But they couldn't take the chances. Couple of amazing saves from Kepa, I have to say, and couple of amazing defending from Mosquera. And one of those defendings were mostly because we were not good in keeping the position. We let our passing was a bit loose. It didn't reach our players, and like it got intercepted in the middle. And we quickly the whole game changed, and we went on. We had to check on the counters. So I think said that, I think this has been a very good performance from Arsenal in that way. And the most important thing, like I said, is about winning. Is just about winning. It doesn't matter how you perform. If you perform really well, you get knocked out. Nobody's going to look into your performance and okay, oh my god, Arsenal performed that great, but still they were defeated. Nobody's going to care about that. And you performed really poor, but you still grind out result. That's it. That's the cup game. Now, with that, we had our Halen boys scoring two goals. One of them came from Nwaneri from a brilliant move from the Arsenal play from Eze, Merino, Lewis Kelly, and finished by Nwaneri finally. And the second one was, I personally thought like he should have, I mean, our young striker should have taken it in the first shot, but he couldn't do that. So, but I think the follow up from Saka, it was brilliant, and he finished off the game with the second goal. To be honest, so let's look a bit of details on the game. So Arsenal now are the first English team ever to win 6 matches in a month without conceding a goal. There are 4 points clear at the top of the Premier League, joint leaders of the Champions League group stage and into the EFL Cup qualifiers. And I think this has been an immense month for Arsenal. You see, we have defeated everyone without even conceding a goal. Just go back 5 years with Mustafi, Papasopoulos, Kolasinac, and all those players you could have never even imagined. And we have taken down some pretty good teams there. So I think I think the performance wise, I think this is immense from Arsenal. Really, really good. And in terms of defense, again, like I said, so we have defeated Brighton, we have defeated Crystal Palace, we have defeated Atletico Madrid 4-0, Fulham away, West Ham, and Olympiacos 2-0 without conceding a goal in the whole of October. It started from the 1st of October and went till the 29th of October with this Carabao Cup game. Absolutely immense. Now, it was our Helen boys, like I said, Nwaneri and Saka, who really gave us the winner. And I was to a point where I was thinking that maybe we should start the substituting a couple of players a bit early, but we waited, and I think it's good that we waited because we got the first goal from the same players who started the game, and it was a beautiful move from them. And one thing that is really going to annoy a lot of the rival fan base and a lot of the pundits, that is the set piece FC. Both of these goals came from open play. Both of these goals were fantastic in their own way, with the build up. The first one being a brilliant move from all the four players combined with Eze, Merino, Luis Kelly, Nwaneri. The second one was a brilliant run from Timber, who then threaded the ball for our young striker, who couldn't finish it. In the rebound, Saka took the ball and finished off in style. So I don't know what agenda they will now place on Arsenal, because this is not a set piece FC goal. They don't know what to say about it now, because if it would have come from a corner, free kick, anything like that, a scuffy goal, they would have gone like, see, they don't know how to play, they don't know how to create, and it's just these kind of goals that give them the winners. But it was not that. So I'm wondering what are they are going to say now. But let's see. Now the first goal, I think for me, it was really brilliant piece of work from all the four players. And the finishing first time from Nwaneri, like again, speaks for itself. And I'm really happy to see that he has also finally started scoring, because with Odegaard injured, because Odegaard this whole season he has been prone with injuries. He has tried to come back again, went back with an injury, shoulder injuries, knee injuries. So it has not been going well. And there is still some time for Odegaard to come back and again be added to it to the team. So in that meantime, Vaneri can really step in to that role, make that role his own. Because one thing that Vaneri does, which Odegaard doesn't, is drive with the ball. The moment Vaneri gets the ball, he charges the player. He tries to drive the ball towards the other team, opponent's team. Whereas with Martin Odegaard, he doesn't drive with the ball. He looks for those intricate passes. So the way and the style of these two players are a bit different. However, the role is the same. And if Vaneri can really pull up a couple of more good performances with a goal or an assist, I think this is going to definitely help him, because he does have that chance to really get into the team right now with that position being vacant. I mean, not exactly vacant because Eze can step in, but can also play on the left, so that way. But one thing that amazes me this season, which Arsenal of the past would have not seen, is the bench quality in the Carabao Cup game. So if you see, we had Raya, we had Gabriel, we had Timber, we had Calafiori, we had Declan Rice, Mendy, Bukayo Saka, Trossard, and Gyökeres. And just to add on top of it, we had Saliba, we had Martinelli. Both of those were injured and they were not like uh, available for this game. Then we have Gabriel Jesus, we have Kai Havertz. I mean, we have Odegaard. So just make it make sense. I think we can. I don't, like if you can make it two Arsenal A and B team, and it is going to be a good game between both of them. Now, in terms of let's look at the uh, statistics for the game. So Arsenal's Brighton, two goals scored, one big chances created. The game was pretty much even, and I personally think that Brighton also created a couple of really good chances, and I think they should have taken those. But yeah, they didn't. So 16 shots from Arsenal to 18 shots from Brighton, five shots on target to their six. Touches in the opposition box 43 to 24, and position is absolutely 50.10 to 49.90. It's 50-50. Corners 8 to 2, fouls committed 9 to 40. So I think the game was pretty much balanced. I think if Brighton would have taken those chances, the game could have been very different. And at the moment, there is no stopping for Arsenal. Absolutely no stopping. So after game week 9, we are at 22 points. Bournemouth, who are actually playing really well, as they are on 18, Spurs 17. Sunderland, Granit Xhaka, come back to the Premier League. He is on, fourth as well. Sunderland are on fourth with 17 points. Then Manchester City and Manchester United. I mean, the points are same between the third and fourth and the fifth and sixth. That's just the goal difference. That is the difference. Chelsea, I really thought like so you see Liverpool then are on seventh and Chelsea are on ninth. I really thought that this season Chelsea will click, but I don't know, with their habit of taking red cards. I'm not really not sure what is going wrong with them. Then this was some stat that was shared, and I really wanted to show it to you, which was the highest ratio of set piece goals last five Premier League seasons, excluding penalties. And this is now in 2025-2026 that the ratio has become 28%. I think Arsenal would be contributing to at least 12 to 14% of that. It is Arsenal. Yeah, make it make sense. But yeah, that has definitely increased. Yeah, and this record as well. I don't know why there is a bit of difference, but yeah, that was the increase. And 19% of all Premier League goals this season have come via corners. Arsenal have got at least close to nine of them from set pieces. Not directly corners, but set pieces. Those include free kicks and other things. Arsenal become the Yeah, this is I think so something that I really like because Arsenal became the first English top flight team in history to win six games in a single month without conceding a goal. And this is massive. We already know that this is massive. We haven't conceded in October. When was the last time that you would have thought that Arsenal are not conceding? But yeah, first English top flight team. And with that, Arsenal have now advanced to the Carabao Cup. We are top of the Premier League. We have a perfect record in the Champions League, but we have some tough games coming up. So, but right now we are just rolling. And Arsenal haven't conceded a goal in 569 minutes in all competitions. And can you guess who was the last player who scored against us? It was against Newcastle. It was Walter Day. Okay, maybe I'm butchering the name, so forgive me for that. But Walter was the last one who scored against us, and that was on September 28th. Absolutely incredible. So you see, we have like we got one, we conceded one against Newcastle, then Olympiacos, West Ham, Fulham, Atletico, Crystal Palace, and yesterday Brighton. And this is one guy that I really wanted to talk about, Max Dowman, 15 years, 302 days, the youngest player to ever start for Arsenal. He was the starter, and I have to say that I absolutely love watching him. He's just 15 years, maybe you can say 16 now, but he's not 16 yet, so we cannot. So the way he picks the ball, the way he doesn't drive with the ball, he glides with it. If you see him playing, he was just moving like he owns the pitch. He knows how to progress the ball. He's good with his passing is not that powerful, but he's just a kid. But the way he drives, the way he dribbles, the way he takes on the first man, I mean, very few people are able to do that. And I think that is something incredible. Every time this player, I mean, Max Dauman has stepped on the pitch, I have always been amazed by his performance. I mean, if he just stays fit and gets the slowly starts getting the game time that he's needed, I think he will be a phenomenal talent for Arsenal. If I show you the numbers, Max Nauman versus Bryman, most dribbles completed, most fouls won, most duels won, showing quality against the Premier League opposition at just 15 years of age. Absolutely. Now our back foot, I think this is something that I want to talk about. So you see, this is our back foot, and our back foot totally comprises of 123 million pound with the two best players. I mean, maybe not the two best players, but at least the two our main centre backs. 23 million for Gabriel Magalhaes, 26 million for Saliba. They are the lowest, with Calipari 39 and Timber 35 million pound. And if I have to put this into context, we didn't play we didn't play any of these four yesterday. I mean, Gabriel did come towards the end, Timber did came towards the end, like as a substitution, but they didn't start the game. And we still looked pretty good. So I mean, our defense is like incredible this season. I mean, in terms of depth, in terms of options, in terms of how they are playing, even players like Mosquera, in Capia, they have like just quickly gelled into the team. Again, this is something that we already saw. And this is something that was interesting. Now you know that the lowest goal conceded record in the Premier League is held by Chelsea when they played the season 2004 and 2005, where they conceded just 15 goals. And right now, Arsenal are on course. Again, this is a very, very long season. And if you have to think like 15 goals just to concede 15 goals in 38 games, it's, I mean, it is going to take a lot. But as of now, this was the thing. So, uh, if you let me show this to you. So, I think this was better if yeah, I think this is better. So, if we see the trajectory, and right now we have conceded three, and if we see the trajectory of how Chelsea did, they ended up with 15. And even though this doesn't suit like it because they have, it's just an assumption that how things are going to happen, and it's just that how much have we conceded after 9 games, that doesn't give you a very fair picture. But if it continues in the same momentum that these guys have drawn, it will be 12.667, 13 goals. I don't know why they, I mean, they have to make mathematically accurate, but yeah, 13 goals. Let's see, long season, long season. And now for the final good part, we are in the quarterfinals of the Carabao Cup, with us taking on Crystal Palace, Cardiff City taking Chelsea, Manchester City taking Brentford, Newcastle taking Fulham. And if you have to see, we already have Manchester United, like who have been knocked out, Liverpool knocked out yesterday, Tottenham were knocked out by Newcastle, and so we are only left with 3 or 4 big teams. So Arsenal, Chelsea, Man City, and Newcastle. Crystal Palace is good as well. We cannot depend. And Brentford is good. But yeah, if you have to say in terms of the big six, I think these teams are there. And I think all of them, I think our game is going to be difficult. And I think Manchester City's game is going to be difficult. Chelsea, they have a fairly easy game. Newcastle should be able to take care of Fulham at their home. But yeah, let's see. Let's see. I'm really happy that at least we have progressed. And I hopefully this time for the quarterfinals we put in a strong lineup. So, and not the same thing that we did last time. So let me see. Yeah. So let me walk you through some of the things that Mikel Arteta said. So we had two huge debut from Max Dauman and Andre Harriman Anos. Sorry for butchering your name, brother, but yeah. That feeling of giving the opportunity to somebody and fulfilling a dream is unique. I'm very happy that the things have turned out to be very positive and we managed to win the game. I think that was good. Then Mikel Arteta on the preseason, he has been very impressed. I think this is again, he has Arteta on Dauman finding out that he was starting. A tiny smile for him. Everything he is natural. It's the way he plays. I think that's the secret, that he doesn't make a big fuss of it. He just does what he does best, which is play football. I think I was absolutely impressed by him. And this partnership as well in Capia, Mosquera, I think absolutely loved these two guys. Mikel Arteta on Mosquera and Hincapie partnership, very good. I think these two are going to complement each other really well. I'm very happy with what I have seen. They have never played together. They have trained 2 or 3 times together, and that will keep improving. And I think like a huge round of applause for from my side to Kepa as well. He was really good today, and I'm not surprised. I said it a few days ago. The way he behaves, trains, the way he is connected to the team at all times, it's going to prepare him for those moments. And today, certainly, he was ready. And Mikel Merino on Instagram, I said, proud and honored to have a chance to represent this club and the group of players as captain tonight. Was unbelievable. Thank you, everyone, for the messages and support. Not a better way to do it with the win and the ticket to the next round. Come on, you Gunners. So I think, in all, I think this was a pretty good result for Arsenal. And just that we keep these things ticking, and now we look forward for the next round. But on the other side, things have been really different. On one side, where we have seen Arsenal cruising through things, Liverpool have struggled, and Liverpool have struggled in a lot of good ways. And that is something that we are going to talk about next. Because as much as I thought that Liverpool would at least win this one, I mean, things are not looking good for Liverpool. So if I have to say for Liverpool, I think Arne Slot is making it more difficult for himself than it is for him right now. Because if you have to see, he got a very good backing, and rightfully so. Liverpool didn't sign any of the players last season. They barely spent any money, and still the team that he owned from Klopp, he worked on it. He got the best out of them and won the Premier League deservedly. I think there is nobody who can come out and say that, oh, Liverpool won the Premier League, they didn't deserve it. I think they absolutely deserved it, and they rightfully won it. And rightfully, he got the backing for it. He got the money. He got some of the best players out there. So one of the, if you bar Haaland, Isak was the best striker in the Premier League, and they got Isak. Fullerton was one of the best attacking midfielders in the world. They got him. Then Hugo Ekitike, again one of the best upcoming talent in terms of striking capabilities, playing at the wing as well. They got him. They got Kirkes. They got Frimpong. They got all these players, but somehow it's just that they are not able to set the team. And for me, the most important thing that they are missing is Trent, the ability of Trent to play long balls, to break the low block, the ability of Luis Diaz, who can dribble past a couple of players, create that half chance for you, and get you that winner, get you that breakthrough. And I think this is where it is becoming a bit difficult for Arne Slot. He plays Gapco on the left in Luis Diaz position. Kirkes and Frimpong, Robertson, these players are not of the same capabilities as Trent. They don't have the same capabilities to deliver long diagonal balls, find a player from deep in their own area. They don't have those kind of players. So, and all of a sudden, McAllister, uh, Sabozalai, these players are also not performing to the level that Liverpool would have wanted. Their defense, even though Konate and Van Dijk are there, if for some reason they are not able to perform, I mean, the wing backs are not pretty good, to be honest. So it is all in all, it's not helping them in one way or the other. And this is alarming for Claude. And rather than, I think, him trying to change a bit more in order to see what suits him best, he, if I would have been at his place, I would have gone with the same team for a couple of games and try to see which was best. But this game, he really took a very different approach, where I thought, since the Liverpool team is already, in terms of morale, in terms of momentum, they're already down, they're not performing well, they have been defeated in the, I think, 6 defeats in the last 7 games, something close to that. And they really needed this win. And Crystal Palace is like how Tottenham have been a kryptonite to Manchester City. Crystal Palace have been a kryptonite lately for Liverpool. They have defeated them in the Community Shield. They have defeated them in the Premier League. They have now defeated them in the EFL Cup as well. And one thing that I will really say about Arne Slot, that he should have started a stronger side for this game, because Crystal Palace had very close to their first team starting this game, and Arne Slot, he started their under 21s, all those players, which I don't think was personally a very wise decision from him. Now, as I said, Liverpool have lost to Crystal Palace 3 times in a row. With, like, again, Community Shield was on pens. Then, I mean, Premier League game they lost again 2-1, and yesterday they lost 3-0 at Anfield. Make it make sense. And in all of the three things, if you see, there is one thing common, and that is Ismail Sarr, an absolute bogeyman for Liverpool. And this, yeah, and I think this is impressive as well. So Crystal Palace have beaten Liverpool three times in a row and are unbeaten in their four games, dating them back to May. Impressive results. And I think this guy is doing wonders, Oliver Glasner. I personally like the way he makes the team play. He has already lost a lot of good players. He keeps losing those players every year on year, but still somehow makes Crystal Palace perform to the optimum level and still take down one of the biggest teams in the league. Oliver Glasner has beaten Arne Slot again, Community Shield, Premier League, and Carabao Cup. Like immense performance from. And Ismail Sarr, again, the kryptonite, sorry, not the kryptonite is Crystal Palace, the boogeyman. He scored two goals in 5 minutes against Liverpool. And this specific goal, I just wanted to show you. Look at the space he has to take that shot. Liverpool were absolutely losing the first balls, the second balls. They were completely run over. I mean, I don't have to, I should not be saying this because there were a lot of under 21 players, there were a lot of young talents, and to criticize them, it's not a good thing. But it's more about the manager because he could see that it was Crystal Palace very close to first team, and the young players who were playing at Anfield, they were completely done. Look at from the place that he's taking that shot. Look at how much space he has. Nobody is able to press him. Nobody is even close to him. Robertson, he doesn't have the pace. I mean, he should have made some changes very quick. And if you have to see, Ismail Sarr has scored like in all of the games they have Crystal Palace have played against Liverpool, and that speaks for itself. So on August 10, he scores against Liverpool in the Community Shield. On September 27, he scored against Liverpool in the Premier League. And on 29, he scores a brace in the EFL Cup. Ismail Sarr, top performer. And this is the thing that really like I was a bit surprised to see so I'll just let me show you and then we'll take it from there. So you see all these players. You have Isak, Verse, Salah, Shabozalai, Hugo Ekiteke, all these players on the bench. So Gapco, Van Dijk, Konate, Gravenberch, out. They were all out of the Liverpool squad to face Crystal Palace. And for what? For absolutely what? You could have at least started three, four of them and given the rest of the players a bit of rest. Or you could have maybe started three or four of them and then rotated the other three or four of them after 60 minutes so that you had a good balance. I mean, make it make sense. Because this particular game, if played well, if played right, would have given a lot of morale to Liverpool and to the Liverpool fans because they really needed this win. It was a cup game. A win could have done wonders, but yeah, I think this was not a very wise decision from Ancelotti. And since September 27th, Liverpool have lost more matches in all competition than any other team in the Europe's top 5 league. Liverpool have conceded first in 7 consecutive games and haven't kept a clean sheet in their last 10. They are currently 2-0 down to Crystal Palace. This was yesterday's. I mean, they have not kept a clean sheet in their last 10 games. They have lost 6 out of 7. And this was a very unfortunate thing for this guy, like Amara Nalo, who made 2 appearances for Liverpool, but both of them, for one or the other reason, have been like got him sent off. So on January 29, 2025, he was first sent off against PSV. And then again, 29 yesterday in the Crystal Palace game, he was again sent off. So yeah, not a good start from him. And again, like I said, like it's not his fault because I think it was a red, so I cannot defend him in that way. But yeah, really unfortunate for him. And now If you just see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. In the last 7 games, they have lost six. The only win that Arne Slot has is the defeat against is the one where they played Frankfurt in the Champions League and they defeated them 5-1. I mean, and this stat is amazing as well. So Liverpool have conceded first for the 7 straight games. So they are not able to break through teams, and the teams are able to play. And one thing I have to say, so like in the Manchester United match, Arne Slot said that the team sheet and all the things, they were all like he was waffling. He couldn't have find a good answer, and that happened. But in the other game, he didn't have an answer for it, and it is right now. It is showing that he is not able to gel up the team. He is not able to make the team perform, and this is something that is disturbing him. Last season, I think Slot, all the press conference that you see, because the team was winning, because they were performing well, even though they were getting knocked out of from the PSG or knocked out of FA Cup, Carabao Cup, since they were winning in the Premier League, the team was already performing. He never said things that you would question. But right now, since the performances have gone down, the results have gone down, the kind of statements that he has started to make me wonder, like the capabilities of him and what is going in his mind. So I think this is one thing to keep in mind as well. Because I was really impressed with Scott's press conference last season. He didn't question anything, he didn't say anything, come back, play the game, say something very neutral about your team, the other team, and just go back. And the kind of performances Liverpool have been putting, Liverpool FC were relegated the last time they lost 5 consecutive games in domestic competitions 72 years ago. Things are not looking good. The run in 1953 saw them drop below England's top division under manager Don Welsh. And right now, if you see, the results are not looking good as well. So if I click this on October 2025, they have already lost all these 5 games. They have lost to Chelsea last minute, Crystal Palace, Manchester United, Brentford, Crystal Palace again. And then in September 1953, they lost to Newcastle, I think two of the Wolves and Spurs. I think this is Preston. Like, correct. Yeah, I think this is Preston. I'm not sure who is the first one. But yeah, not a good sign for Arne Slot. And just look at this results. And losing is one thing. So you can play a game well and still lose it. But Crystal Palace, they didn't play well. And fortunately, they were fortunate. I mean, I'm talking about the league game. So they didn't play well. They were fortunate to get the one goal. And Crystal Palace, like in the last minute, they scored and won the game. Galatasaray, they didn't play well. I mean, they played well in bits and pieces, but not that they performed well. It was Galatasaray who were playing at least 60% and Liverpool 40%. Chelsea, Chelsea, I think it was a pretty even game. Manchester United, I think Manchester United played brilliantly. They absolutely, with the long balls, with the throw-ins, with direct balls. I think Manchester United were winning all the second balls, and I think that made wonders. Frankfurt they won, so that is there. Brentford again. Brentford caused Liverpool a lot of issues with their long balls again, playing them long, trying to disrupt Van Dijk, Konate, and their defense. And Crystal Palace, they absolutely walked over Liverpool yesterday. But yesterday it was not the full team, so I'll not say. So Liverpool have lost more games than any team in the Europe's top 5 leagues since September 27th. And Arsenal and Bournemouth the only teams Arne Slot has defeated are Arsenal and Bournemouth, and who both are in the first and second position of the league table. With 6 defeats since September 27th, Liverpool have lost more games than any other side. Again, something that we have already seen. Liverpool haven't kept a clean sheet in the last 10 games. That's something we have seen. And this is something that I wanted to walk you through. So let me get to the. Yeah. So, because these were the questions that were asked of him. So, Arne Slot on team selection. I haven't changed my mind after the game. Even with our starters, we have struggled to find a result against Crystal Palace as well. And that's a correct statement, but that is not the way that you still, just because your starters didn't get the result the previous time, you are going to throw in kids and like get them hammered. So I think this is not the way, even though I do understand to a point of what he was trying to say, that the result was the same with the main team playing as well, but still you should have brought a mixture of players with at least 60% young, then 40% like old players. On Arneslot, I saw Manchester City starting 11 and they didn't have one starter from the weekend, but it felt like their best team. That is a bit of an insight. Chelsea can bring Estevao in. Then, after I made two substitutions tonight, we had six teenagers. So, again, at this point, like I saw Manchester City starting 11. Manchester City have been winning, they have won the most amount of trophies in the last decade. So comparing with Manchester City and how Pep works, I think that's not a very good thing. Comparing to Chelsea, again, both of those teams are not going through this bad phase as Liverpool. So this comparison, I don't think that's the correct, at least for now. If Liverpool would have been absolutely winning, absolutely like hammering the other teams, and suddenly you think like Carabao Cup, I can leave, I think then that would have made a good point. But since you're already not performing well, your Premier League games, your Champions League games, all of them are suffering. I think this could have given the team a bit of confidence and momentum. Every game at Liverpool is a must win. If you are on a run of results like this, if you play for Liverpool, if you manage for Liverpool, the pressure is there. I don't think it has changed much after this loss. I don't think, like, even though I have seen noises on the social media, but I don't think they are going to like turn on Slot, because I don't think that is going to happen. He had an amazing first season coming to the club, winning the Premier League. I mean, I don't think the fans and the club are going to turn on it. However, the noise will start. And once the noise starts, if the results don't improve, it is only going to gradually increase. Arne Slot on the starting 11, like it felt like me the right decision. I have not changed that opinion. It's the same selection I did last season in rounds like this. There are many reasons we lost 5 out of 6 or 6 out of 7. None of them are good enough to accept losing so many games, and that's fair. So this was Arne Slot's press conference. Even though some of the things that he said make sense, at least for the one where he said that even the first team have not pulled up trees while playing against Crystal Palace, I still think that he should have started a stronger team, or at least put out a team with a bit of mixture. But since he has not done that, the game is now over, and there is going to be a hard road now for Slot, because he needs to start grinding out results. He needs to start seeing things, start making the team tick. We have already seen the first is not able to perform, Isak is not able to perform, and maybe out of the new signings, I think the only one maybe is Ekiteke, who is able to perform at the optimum level. So he really needs to find some answers, find some way to make things happen, and that too quickly. With that, the video is then and there, people. Do let me know your thoughts on the two games of Arsenal and Liverpool. Let me know what slot should be changing for the upcoming games, and how can it improve its performance. Something that you think is not going well for Liverpool that maybe I would have not guessed. Do let me know your thoughts in the comment section, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, as this helps the channel grow and your brother grow as well. So till then, I'll see you in the next video. Take care.